Hey, Wingman. How many continents are there? Well, if you grew up in America like I did, the answer is simple. North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. And as a kid, I've always had this question. Why does Europe and Asia get to be two separate continents when they're all one giant landmass? If you grew up in the Reagan administration like I did, teachers just said, because it just is. Then somebody along the way said that Europe and Asia are so different culturally that they get to be two separate continents. Yeah, I've been around the world twice, and if that's true, then that means the Middle East gets to be its own continent, India definitely gets to be its own continent, this section of Africa gets to be its own continent, Brazil itself gets to be its own. Then I got to see a map when I was abroad that actually blends Europe and Asia into the giant continent, Eurasia. But those maps will also come over here to the Americas, and they will blend North America and South America into America. Why? Short answer, because of President Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt came all the way over here, and this area called Panama, he made the Panama Canal. And the Panama Canal is only 13 meters deep, and he had cut the Panama Canal through here so that way boats will stop going through the Atlantic and have to sail all the way around to get to the Pacific. They can just sail right through here, which helps out your commerce. Those bloody Americans think that they invented something with the Panama Canal, trying to make two separate continents. That's not how you make a continent. We ignore your Panama Canal. Fine, you're gonna ignore my Panama Canal? Then I'm gonna come all the way over here and I'm gonna ignore your Suez Canal, and I'm gonna make a giant Afro-Eurasian continent right there. Here's another question about continents. Oh, I have a list. Australia gets to be its own continent, but Greenland is not a continent. Here's another question. When you see these stupid Mercator maps, you always see Antarctica right here as this long, giant line at the bottom of the map. So in your head, you think Antarctica is like this giant landmass. Have you ever seen a map with Antarctica at the center? That's it. That is Antarctica at the center of the map. The map looks weird, doesn't it? And you can see that it's about the size of Australia. And when you take away its ice and you see the archipelago that it really is, it kind of rivals Indonesia than Australia. And I already know some of y'all are going, it's geology. It's the tectonic plates that make up a continent. Show us the tectonic plates. You want to see the tectonic plates? This is a map of the tectonic plates. And as you can see, India becomes its own continent, the Middle East gets to be its own continent, the Caribbean gets to be their own continent, Eurasia is a continent. So how many continents are there? If you're taking a test in America, just write down 7. That's the answer that they want. But for real, it could be dozens. Have peace and love.